220-0796. Oh, wow, so now I guess. Anton gets to decide. Oh, look at you, got it out.
I think so.
Good job.
Hang on, I gotta get started up here. I got distracted.
He got distracted by me asking questions. You have a whole
Yeah.
minute, you have a whole
Like,
minute.
why don't you return my calls?
And then Mary came in saying the same thing. Why don't you say hi to me or whatever you said?
Well, because when I got here, she's sitting in the parking lot.
Oh. Looking at my phone, you didn't say hi. Still in touch. Are you gonna sign it? Yep.
Oh, Lordy. Well, there's three of you, so you can start.
I gotta wear this up here. Excited to be in-
Oh, my God.
Oh, mine's.
I hate whenever there was those up. This thing's up.
There's Anton.
Batteries. I don't go without a computer.
What a real person he is.
You
Hello,
should
hello.
have left it on and left it do its update.
Perfect time. Just getting ready to start. But I'm having a technology problem.
Got a myriad of them.
That's all. Um, all right, we're recording, right?
Yes.
Let me know. Teresa, are you on the meeting? I just said, let me know if somebody,
I'll let you know if I can see it.
okay. Perfect. All right, call to order. Statement of public notice hereby provided a written notice and the agenda of the public meeting as stated below. There is an opportunity for public comment as noted on the agenda upon recognition of the presiding officer. Roll call. We have Anton, Mary, myself, which would be John, Terry, and Teresa from the board. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all. Adoption of agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I move to adopt the agenda.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Oop, that 7 on approval of minutes is still there. Approval of minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the 8/27 Technology Committee meeting? All right, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the 8/27 Technology Committee meeting. Do I have a second? Actually, Anton, were you here last month? I was thinking you missed, so. All right, somebody other than Anton.
Well, she has to.
Oh,
I have to what?
Second
Terry,
it,
second.
Oh,
Ooh,
second.
because Joel was here.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I was
So
thinking.
you two can approve them because that was a quorum out of the ones that were there. Because I don't think she was in yet. It
Yeah,
was the three of you, so you can approve.
okay, so we can, okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
Good.
Yeah,
All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
there you go.
I'm gonna have to brush up on the rules around meeting minute approval.
Yeah.
Public comments. Anybody have a comment on anything that is not on the agenda? All right, moving on. Interview potential new committee member and make recommendations. I don't see anybody here.
So Peter Gallick is the one that you were going to
Yep.
interview. He is not able to be here, did send you an email.
Okay,
My apologies, but a family, obligation came up at the last second. He wanted to know an alternate date. I told him the next meeting unless he could get in here on Zoom, which he said he didn't think he could.
Okay,
He stated that he's been the head of IT for a number of years at multiple companies, so he might be a good fit to serve.
yeah, it's, I liked his, the information that he provided so
Yeah.
far, so.
So I will I will, Terry, not me, Terry can give him the date of the next meeting
Sounds good.
and he can be there then. So
All right, well, that was our big item for today.
I know it was, and he was very sorry that he couldn't do this, but I
It-
get
it
that
happens.
things come up,
We all have to live in reality, whether we want
Yeah.
to or not.
whether we want to or not.
All right, ongoing items, Google Drive shared storage. It's working as it is right now, and I think Tim was gonna put together kind of the operations thing for it, but that was gonna be, I think we said in November,
Yes,
basically after the election.
yes.
So, that'll just carry.
Gary, you want to make note of that? So he's sure he's on board on that?
Mhm.
Um,
What is it, like an operating guideline or something?
yeah, kind
Okay.
of training and operations
Yeah.
material.
How it will get set up and how it's gonna
Yep, how to set it up,
transfer.
how to administer it.
Yeah,
We, geez, probably about 3 months ago, the minutes talked about that a little bit
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, okay.
So I don't think there's anything more. Anybody have any other comments on the Synology? It's been working well the way we're currently using it.
good,
So that's a good sign.
good.
And once we get the appropriate security, we'll go from there. Town hall update.
So you saw that it's all, flooring's all poured.
I keep
Electrical,
expecting
finally,
walls to come up.
just a minute. Electrical took a long time. It took them 3 days longer than they were scheduled for to get it all in. Because we have all those floor
Mhm.
outlets that had to run piping through them
Oh, yeah.
all. And lines for electrical and technology to
Mhm.
all those in-floor boxes. It took those guys, they were here every day working their tails off trying to get that done. So it got poured. Now we wait 7 days.
Oh, okay,
We met last Thursday. We meet every Thursday morning. He's assured me that it will be up the week of October 22nd and framed in with a roof on it.
cool.
Windows,
So-
doors, roof, interior framed in. So right now I have IT and AV scheduled for the 24th, I think it is, to come in here.
Okay,
And walk through the rough-in.
Mhm.
Because it's always one thing to see it on a plan, it's another to see it in real time, and so they both want to walk through. So they're gonna be here with the electricians to walk through it and make sure everybody's stuff is where everybody wants it at. The board has not approved the IT quotes yet from Sunnylink. We are committed to him putting it in, but we need to have, he wants to revise them once he does the walkthrough.
yep,
AV has done theirs where they are at, and Anton took a look at the camera. See, I'm putting you on the spot. He took a look at the camera because you
Mhm.
didn't answer
Yep.
my phone call. And so he agreed that that was what we wanted. So the board approved that at their last meeting.
perfect.
Yeah. So I
Sounds
think
good.
it's a similar one to that one, it wasn't anywhere near as expensive.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Go ahead,
Like-
Anton.
Yeah, that's Zoom. Still, I think 1080p resolution
Sure.
Yep.
and commercial quality, so I think it should be fine.
Do you remember what the price was?
I want to say like between 450 and 550.
Oh, really? Okay,
Compared
that
to,
was well within what I was hoping we could get something
Yeah.
for, so, perfect.
A lot
know,
better
I-
than 2000.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's much better than the original price he quoted us on, and
And we don't have any features that we have less features that we'll never use. We probably still
Yes.
have features in this
Right.
camera that we'll never use. but-
Right. I mean, you can see what we do with this one,
Yeah.
pretty much nothing except show the room.
Yeah. And again, especially the way we're mounting it, having it try to auto zoom to whoever's talking.
Right, because
is
it'll be
just-
on the side like this one,
Yeah.
because the TVs are hanging down the
Yep.
middle. So you
Yep.
can't have it in the middle.
And for this type of forum, it would just drive people on the remote end crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So
So,
I was comfortable.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, I put Anton on the spot at that board meeting and said, here, look at this, let me know before we vote. Because I just want to make sure that I wasn't saying yes to something that was not gonna work.
sounds good. Awesome. We have update on fiber between buildings.
So what they decided to do, if I understand this correctly, so if I say it wrong, so Northwest Communications was in here.
Mhm.
So they're gonna run a new line from that box down and in and
Okay.
give them two. There's 5 fibers, they're getting 2 into the
Mhm.
new building. Then at the box, they're gonna hook this building to that building,
Okay,
at the box.
yep,
So we're not boring underneath to do it, because he's giving us 2 fibers for that building, which should be better than 1.
yep,
And he felt strongly that would work, and he said, if it doesn't and you need more, we will do that for you. So we had electrical, gas, and him out all at the same time. Everybody walked the ditches, everybody walked the road, everybody walked the site. Everybody knows where they're coming in and doing stuff.
well, the nice thing about that is that means that Northwest Communications owns all the fiber and none of it is ours that we have to own and maintain.
Right, but that way, if they ever go out of business, we're at 0 too. So that's the other
Yeah.
side of that coin.
But the
So that-
fiber will still be there.
Yes. So all of them have to come off the road.
Mhm.
This electrical box out the side of this town hall is not big enough to support that one.
Mhm.
So that has to come off the road.
Sure,
So everybody is going under the drive, across and in, and where this pile of dirt out here is about the place where they're gonna come in and then snake over to the building. Because the drain field and septic tanks are on that side of it,
Yep.
and the well is gonna be this way of that pile. So they're gonna be between that,
Okay.
and they're all going somewhat in the same trenching width.
Mhm.
So gas is the deepest, electrical's next, fiber's at the top.
yep, that makes sense.
They're all on the ground, but
Yep.
one has to be, and they're all not gonna be on top of each other. They are more side by side.
Mhm.
So they're gonna trench them in, so they're all going together in the same location. I guess that's what I want to say.
Yep,
So there's gonna be like this much that they're all gonna go in. Because we wanted to make sure when they enter the building on the south side, that they're not encroaching upon the septic system back there.
Mhm.
So they're gonna be close enough to the building when they come in, that they won't be out far enough to get into that drain field.
Makes
sounds
sense.
good.
So it was
Sounds
a little
perfect.
tight, but it was helpful to have them all out here. Cause then they all had to get their heads around how they're gonna do this and where are you coming in and what's it gonna happen, you know?
Yeah, and it makes sense. I would have been surprised if they would have run anything from the existing for this building. It makes sense
Yeah.
that it's all gets its own.
St. Clair Electric had done their homework before they got here, so they knew exactly. They're coming off the transformer and in that way.
Cool.
Guess what it costs to hook that building up to electric? Guess what
12,000,
it costs? Huh?
12,000.
13 something.
Hmm.
Oh, thank goodness I don't have to pay for it. It's a part of the bid, but I was like, whoa, that's a chunk of change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, nothing's cheap anymore.
it's not. But at least everybody's together now. Everyone knows where they're going.
It needs to do construction or anything else, they're not likely to wreck the other ones.
Well-
How
Right.
often do we have construction that knocks out
Yes.
somebody else
Yes,
piece, so it's all
It's-
together.
It's also nice that they can go under the driveway because
yeah,
I grew up in the era that, you know, the first one would come through, they'd rip up your driveway.
Yes.
They'd repair your driveway. The second one would come through, they'd
Yeah.
rip up your driveway. They,
Yes.
and I think electrical's coming from the south of the driveway. I don't think they're gonna come across it. I think it's fiber and gas that come that
Yeah.
way. So,
cool.
but they're all coming in together and they're all snaking around the building together. So they all said they'll be in the same, about 2 foot
Sounds good.
strip of land. So we're not running stuff helter skelter around that building.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So hopefully it goes the way we expect it to. We'll see.
Till you find out that right smack in the middle of that
Yeah.
path, there's a 8,000-pound boulder. that
Yeah.
Just happens to be
Well,
buried right
thankfully,
at the right depth.
they mostly excavated it down far enough, so it should be okay, except coming in off the road. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But you're gonna see some things moving pretty quick here, because they want to get that building closed in, up and closed in before it gets cold.
Yeah. Which could be any day now.
It could be, but you know, what I'm saying they feel like they have some time here, but
Yeah, generally you're okay till the end of October.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't really want to push it past that.
yep.
So, cool. All right, any other IT or AV? I think got that pretty much covered. Password management, and we're waiting for Sunny Link on that as well. So I'm thinking, we figure that'll come in November as well? It- Yeah, and you're gonna be busy, so I'd say that
It's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
we'll just assume that things that demand your time, we'll take care of after the election.
Yeah, but I do have a message into him, so hopefully he'll be able to call me soon and I can at least touch base with him and talk about it.
Sounds good. Yeah, at least kind of remind him, so he's got on his to-do list the,
I don't want him to
This stuff
forget
was
about
before.
us. Yeah.
so, cool. Computer lifecycle management.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I'm like, didn't we talk about this last month, but we
didn't have
couldn't talk
everything.
about it because
Right.
it wasn't on the agenda.
Yeah,
Go
and I
ahead.
I don't know what other devices I need on here, but I put like our computers, the laptops on here with the dates that kind of figure we've had them since.
So do you
And-
have 3 laptops on there?
I have 2.
What about this one?
I have that one and mine.
And
I
what
don't-
about Carolyn's?
I didn't know she had one. I don't.
Yeah.
I'll have to find out what hers is.
Oh, yeah, you both have them.
Okay. I'm guessing it's probably the same, but I'm sorry, I didn't. put
How old
in
is this
the-
one?
The drive. I'm guessing we got these in 2020. Is what I'm,
Hmm.
and I didn't get that information from Tim either, because I haven't talked to him.
Garrett,
But,
he didn't buy these. He
okay.
did not buy these. We should be
From
able to
what I-
look up and find out when.
Well,
these are
now-
from.
Yeah,
So
given the
we
model,
can
given the model number, we can tell basically how
tell
old
when
they
it
are.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, any given model number generally available for about 6 months. It seems.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. And then they discontinue support for it a couple weeks after that, it seems.
Always. Yeah, so this thing started breaking. But like the computers we have in there, the desktops, we got those in January of 20. The deputies came in January of 23. Mine came in November of 22.
Okay,
So
so
they're,
Pretty new. Server,
Server.
no,
Fire stations at all.
Ah.
those, I'm gonna have to ask Tim on those, because I think some of those are really new. Like they
Okay.
just got a
Yeah.
couple.
we,
But
I
are they
think
part of
2 of
the,
them.
they're part of the town's inventory?
Yes,
right?
they
Yeah, we
belong
should-
to the town
we could
Yeah.
add those to inventory
So I'll get those. in
and the
there too.
server.
and the server has got to be due for
I
replacement.
just need to talk to Tim.
got at the
It's
same
getting
time
up
as the
there.
Synology, didn't we?
Hmm?
Didn't we replace the server at the same time we got the Synology or just about?
Probably.
I thought we sort of got a package to,
Oh, what was the Synology?
update
model
that.
number? I have that on the laptop if I didn't have a dead battery. But that's got to be like at least 5 years ago, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
which also means our Synology may be starting to get to the point we need to
Oh, yeah, good point.
consider.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
We should inventory that.
yeah, we should probably start, this kind of goes back to the budget.
So it's kind of, there's both hardware, then it's software. The Synology would be considered the software, right?
No, it's hardware.
that's
hardware.
It's a physical device.
I-
Yep.
Yeah.
You pay for the device, the software is free.
The other thing is, did you make a list of all of your computer equipment for elections? Because you have to have an
No.
inventory of that for the feds for this election, so you might want to get that done too.
Yeah, I can add that on here too.
All right, so next month we'll have a expanded inventory.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, because the federal government requires that from you for a federal election.
And I'd say that we wouldn't want to wait any longer than we need to, because I think we're gonna need to probably put some money in the budget
Mhm.
Yes,
for next year for that.
Okay.
I know we added some.
Yep.
Probably not enough.
Well,
But I'm
I'll-
thinking, yeah, we probably need to
I'll
add.
get this and I'll just, we don't even have to wait. I'll send it to you guys before that. I'll
Sounds
put it
good.
in the drive and the Synology and I'll send it to you. So you
And
guys
when
have
do
it.
you need the budget?
October 8th.
Okay. Um,
But you've already
Before-
given us a number.
So 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've already given us a number, and so I think we go with that. And if we have to spend some money on something, we just have to do it.
well, I'm
Obviously,
thinking,
we're in good spot with the desktops,
Yep.
yep,
because they're all new enough. It's these laptops that I'm concerned with.
Especially
actually-
that
Because
one.
this one has to get replaced no matter what. This
Yep.
one's on its last hoo-hoo, ha-ha.
Yep.
Because that was a cheap one when we bought it.
and that one's older than these.
I think it is. She doesn't
Yeah.
think so, but I
Really?
think this was before those.
I thought that was like
It
a
wasn't the
leftover
opposite
when
road.
Yes.
a new one replaced it.
But you'll look it up and get us.
Yeah.
I'll find
Okay.
out. Yep.
And the other thing, Terry and I were just talking, because right now you have your AccuVote machines are the machines that you vote on electronically and touch the screen. We have two of those, and then we have the two DS200s, is where you put your ballots in.
Mhm.
So we have those four machines. The DS200s are over $6,000 a piece, and the AccuVotes are around $5.
Hmm.
We just put in Town of Hudson, we just put a call into the county, because they're coming up on 10 years old.
Mhm.
What's the longevity of these in the long run for St. Croix County? Because they're the ones that determine what you're using.
Mhm.
Because you have to all be compatible. What's the long term here?
Yeah,
Because before we buy anything to supplement what we have, I don't want to spend $6,000 to find out in 2 years you're tossing them all.
Why do they have to be compatible? You're not flip sharing them, are you?
You have to be compatible because when you send in the votes at the end of the night, it has to match.
It's an electronic submission system, I
Yes,
think.
it's all electronic.
And apparently they haven't standardized on an XML format or something, so.
So everyone within a county has to use the same machines.
Oh,
Everybody.
Oh, there, it doesn't actually, it's not really our count, it's the county's count?
Well, because you're under the county when it comes to
Okay.
administering elections, that's how it works.
Okay.
Now, the Badger books, which are kind of like iPads, so to speak, is where you get checked in.
Mhm.
Those are only a couple thousand apiece. We only have 4 here. I said to Terry, you might want to put another one in your budget for next year, but she's going to check with that company to find out if the new ones are compatible with the old ones, because they all have to speak to each other.
yeah.
And if you had one more, it would make checking in a little easier to have that 5th one. We'll see. We don't know yet. Because obviously when we get there, we'll have more space to be able to do that.
What equipment do you use for the absentee votes? Or for the-
You don't use any equipment. You just use a computer to check them in through WizVote. And then the absentee ballots are locked up until the
So-
day of the election.
Well, you said you just
Do
said
they
you
just
use
go
a
through
computer.
The two
Yeah.
scanners, okay, that's what I was
They're
wondering.
checked in on Badger Book and then put through the DS200.
Okay,
What were you saying?
You were just saying that you use a computer to go to
To check
WISPO.
them in when they come in to get their ballot or when they check, the ballot comes in the mail.
So is that done with like the clerk's computer through a website or?
The deputies, because she goes on WizVote,
Mhm.
she signs in and then she checks in this ballot came back.
so that's an online,
Yes,
not tied to a specific.
not tied to
computer.
anything. It's just a
Okay.
program that the WizVote has.
Okay,
So they just punch in there the number that you have a voter ID number and it goes in there and says, they return the ballot. So if you go on My Vote, oh, my ballot came back. There it
Yep.
is. And
Is,
then the day of the election, you can find out if it was voted.
for getting into the WISVote, is there like a separate hardware piece that's used, like a dongle or a key or?
It's like, to get into WizVote, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a little, it's like
Fido
USB thing that you put
Mhm.
in and you have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is
Touch
that something
thing.
we had to purchase or is that something the state
I don't know
provides?
if we purchased. it.
I don't know. We've had them forever. They come
Okay.
from the county.
Yeah, I didn't.
They're
I mean,
Fido keys. So you have
Okay.
to touch them and,
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's more technology that
Yes.
needs to get replaced at some point. So,
yeah, so you can't get into that part of WizVote without
Right.
going through that whole
Mhm.
name, password, PIN number and touch.
yeah. But if it's just a Fido, it's not very expensive. I wasn't sure if it
No.
was like a CAC PIV card or
No,
something.
Fido is a
no, I
Fido
don't-
key.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Pretty easy.
well, what I was thinking on the budget, I think this year we had 12,000. I was thinking what we came up with, where the number was 15,000 for next year.
Do you know, Terry?
Oh, we put 15. What did you
I
ask?
think we put 15 for our budget for
Yes.
next year.
Yes,
But given, right now, it sounds like we're gonna need to buy 2 laptops for sure and probably a server next year.
At least possibly a
I'm
server.
thinking we should bump that up to 20.
Was the server in on Sunny Links? Stuff he gave us, was there a server in there, a new server? You know,
I thought we were planning on moving the server
we're
over.
gonna just move it, okay.
Yeah, we're not buying,
Okay,
part of the move plan wasn't to buy a new
Yeah.
server.
gotcha. I'm okay with that.
But I'm thinking, just given what I'm hearing, I don't think, I'm pretty confident we're gonna go over $15,000 next year. Cause we spent this year, so far, we spent almost 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be at 12 by the time the year's done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, we figured inflation and stuff, but I think
Yeah.
we've got quite a bit of hardware we're gonna need to
Yeah,
replace. So,
2 laptops is 2,000, give or take, and
yeah. And the
server is
servers,
another, call that 2,000.
yeah,
I don't
plus
think we have a very
Sunny
hefty
Link's
one.
time to
Install, right?
install and do all that, so. I think we should bump that up to 20.
I'd be comfortable with that.
Do we?
If we don't spend all of it, great.
Is that something we do a motion for, or is it just let Terry know and she can update the budget?
I think she can just update it. That's
Okay.
fine if you all agree.
And that's what you need before the 8th. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
All right. So we'll do that. So we already, I guess we didn't review the IT, but we'll come back to that. A website update? Any new and exciting things with the website?
no, I just had at the last board meeting several ordinances.
Mhm.
So I've updated the ordinance like page and updated, put all those on there. So it's kind of like when things come up, it's like I get to work on one page at a time almost, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? But yeah, there was a couple resolutions. So it's working really good, putting them all on there. I'm kind of getting, it's not taking me as long now because it's pretty easy, but yeah. It's hard to update because there's all these things that come up all at one time. So, but yeah, it's happening. It's in better shape. Let's put it that way.
Sounds good.
But there's no other updates. That's it.
Review IT budget? Just under 10,000? But nothing really. I think that's roughly the same as well as last month. I don't think we've gotten any new expenses coming through.
Right.
If we did, they're small. Do we pay for the website? Is that a month? We pay that annually, like in January, right? Which is why we spent
Mhm.
most of our budget in the first 2 months of the year.
Yep.
So, okay, any discussions or comments on budget? All right.
I guess I do
recommendation.
have one question, which is, should we be considering, would it be helpful to break out like an equipment budget versus everything else?
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, technology equipment,
Yeah,
technology services.
Yep.
I'd say break it into 3 things. So equipment, services, and
miscellaneous.
software. So hardware, services and software,
sure.
which would cover the subscriptions and
Right.
stuff,
Yeah,
especially next year when we're gonna probably be
I
doing
know.
some life cycle stuff.
I mean, I know as a government entity, I assume we don't have to worry with like depreciation and things like that, but just for
No.
estimating and
Yeah.
tracking
Yep.
things, it'll be easier to keep those separate.
Equipment subscriptions.
Yeah, basically hardware,
software.
Software
software
Okay.
and
and
subscriptions
services.
and services. So Sunnylink services would be because it's
Okay.
not tangible.
So 4 categories? Or
So the services are come
Free.
under the expenses that you see here. IT
Hardware,
expenses,
software and
yeah.
services.
Yeah. For if we need a
Hardware, software.
miscellaneous,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
You want 'em
That would help you at
miscellaneous?
least see that difference.
Yep.
Then you'll know how much you're spending on hardware.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then it's easier for us to
that
plan.
would be better
year
because
to year.
IT is just all lumped together and it's hard to
Yeah,
look at this and know what you spend.
So then,
I
while
think.
you're talking about expenses in this, would you consider that we would purchase our own laptops or would we contact Sunny Link and see what kind of price he'll give us on laptops? Cause I know,
It doesn't hurt to ask him,
yeah.
Yeah, he might be able to get a better deal than we can. Or,
could
or at
be.
least be familiar
not.
with like lower cost sources.
yep,
And then we can decide if we want to go that way or not.
Cause I know, when I was looking for this one, Dell had some cheap ones for like $300 that would probably work for that.
Mhm.
Not for them, but for that it probably would.
Wouldn't this laptop work for that?
It would.
It'd be overkill for that, but it would work.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty juiced up, but
And that's something that we may want to consider
And that's-
in the long terms of rotation. If we do have like a backup system or a
Mhm.
system that's
That's a good idea.
only used for the Zoom, maybe the right thing to do is not buy a new one there, just buy a
rotate.
new one for the clerk
Mhm.
and give
I
the,
thought that's what we did
put the
for
clerk's
that.
old one into that. that is how we, yeah, that is how we got that one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you just
Yeah.
rotate
That's
it,
why
yeah,
that one's an old one. That
Yep.
one's older
Yeah.
than yours.
yeah.
Yep.
It
And that
kinda
that
looks
makes sense to
older.
keep doing that, I think.
yeah.
We got
That's
a
why
new
I
one for
said
the
they were the
person in the
same. I
office.
don't think so. I think yours and
It's not, now
Carolyn's
that I
is the
look at
same.
it, it is not,
Yours and Carolyn's are the same.
I gotta look at her, I gotta find hers,
Oh, yeah, it's here
okay,
because we used it to register people on
okay,
for the November election instead of the Badger books. So they came in and registered with Carolyn and then they get back online to do the Badger book.
okay,
That keeps your Badger books from being so backed up.
okay, I'll find out, it's
Mhm.
See, finding out stuff every day.
I know.
Right, learn.
every day,
And whether
every
you want-
day. It's a
And
new adventure,
printer is leased, right?
yes,
So we could just, is that going to the IT budget right now or office budget?
it's a
That's
good question.
The printer?
Yeah,
Well, I think IT needs to look at that. It's newer. It's what?
yeah, we've looked in the past. I'm just saying, in term,
Paying for the rent.
yeah, is that money
That's
coming
come
out of
under
the
the town-
office
it comes out of the
budget?
Town board, town hall stuff.
Yeah,
It comes out of office expense.
but maybe we should
Okay.
be considering it part of the IT.
I think we always
Infrastructure.
put it under office, but we have to check with the.
Yeah.
I'll look,
That's one of those things that's always been interesting in my professional careers. There's always this battle about does facilities or does the office
Well, and you see,
facilities own printers or does IT? But
and the problem with us is under government, you have to put things in certain spots for
Oh,
purposes of taxation, but the state tells you where to put them.
yeah,
Even though you want to say, well, it should really go, and they go, no,
Yeah.
it goes here. And Terry's been through that with our auditor who says, no, it's got to go there. You can't put it there. So
Yep.
it's under the town board. I know that is office expense.
Okay.
And we need to look at that because I don't know where we are on that lease. That thing's got to be 2-3 years old now, probably
Yeah.
3.
It's a few years since we looked at that, so.
Yeah, so
At
we
least
need to
3,
look
I'd
at
say.
that and see what age that is. We're giving Terry a pile of work here.
yeah, I don't need,
Come to this meeting anymore.
Didn't we
Okay.
say we were gonna try and hold off on any work? for
Well, the
Terry
thing
till
is
after-
that when you actually start thinking about all these things and what you have here
Yeah.
for equipment, all of a sudden it's a lot more than you thought.
Yeah,
Well, either way, we're not gonna change the budget
Yeah,
ask
we-
based on that inventory, so
Right.
that inventory could actually wait.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say is, we've kind of adjusted the budget
Does that
to
make sense,
account for
Terry?
it, so
yep,
do it if you have time, but don't kill yourself between
Mhm.
now and. then.
Well, I'm sure the board will ask her why.
as long as I have a.
So at least if she
note, I
has
do.
some of those dates, it would be helpful.
Sure,
Cause they're gonna say,
We'll have-
why,
we'll have to get it, but
Yeah.
it's just this.
because by October 8th, they're gonna wanna know, why do you wanna replace these laptops? What's their age? And she's gonna have to know that number.
Mhm.
I thought you had that. Well, you don't have for the.
Yeah,
She doesn't have that one.
Oh,
And-
yeah,
Yeah, Carolyn's and hers is the same age.
I need to talk to Tim.
so, okay,
See about
yeah,
that,
and see if we can figure out what the age of the server is, cause
Yeah,
that's the other one.
yeah,
and
I'll
that's a
find that
bigger
out too.
number.
Yep, yeah,
Because if you're right, if we're just gonna put one of these computers in that place,
Mhm.
then we're saving our cost on that one.
yep.
Mhm.
And we can put one in that place and keep the other as a spare for that one if the
Yeah.
one
Yep.
bites the dust, because they are known to do that. All right. Recommendations to town board. We don't have any. Items for next agenda. I'm thinking, do we want to take the Google Drive and password management off for?
For now.
I'm thinking, do you even want to meet and just wait till November?
Yeah,
I can live with that. That's good. That's, I hadn't thought about that, but
Well, I'm just throwing it
Yeah.
out at you guys. You know, Tim's not gonna be ready. She's not gonna be ready with
Yeah.
election.
Yeah,
So do you wait
and-
till
and-
the end of November to do this meeting?
I think we could. There's
Yeah.
not, I don't think anything exciting is going to happen next month.
Yep.
If it is, it's going to be related to the new building and we can deal with that at town board.
What about what?
the new committee member. Well, the next meeting will be in
Well,
November.
we'll
The
just,
next meeting will be in November.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
that's right. That's the way it's gonna be.
Okay.
All right.
I did compile a list of all the people on Google Drive, though.
Oh,
All the committees,
Oh,
all,
great.
everybody,
Great.
yep,
Nice.
just FYI.
how
Did
many
this
are
on
there?
Well, there's a lot, but it kind of, I put them, I separated them by, I'll put this in the Synology on the
Okay.
drive, but it's like I separated by board. And then all the committees,
Mhm.
cause there's a few repetitive ones, there's,
Oh geez, you got
yeah,
pages.
I got like 4 pages of them,
You know, if you just use a smaller font, it would have fit on one page.
Yeah.
Would have been awesome.
but I can't see.
You gotta be able to read it, John.
And it's
I-
kind of
I had a
double
guy-
space, so, you know.
Long time ago that needed an 8-point font because he had to send all of this stuff overseas in a fax. So he needed to fit a lot on a page. I'm like, if you're faxing an 8-point, whoever you're sending it to is not reading it. So I think we could just quit sending the fax altogether.
So here's the thing, the fourth Tuesday of November is the week of Thanksgiving.
You want to do it the week before that?
Can you, what's on our calendar on the 19th? Anything, Terry,
The 19th,
of November? Do you want me to go look here? I'll run and look.
Because that would work well since we're skipping a month. We might as well
Yeah.
move November up.
when's the 19th?
Calendar. There we go.
Oh, is that the week of Thanksgiving? When is Thanksgiving?
The fourth, the last Thursday.
Oh, it's the last one, so it's the 20th.
28th.
I knew that day sounded familiar.
You're at the 21st, which is a Thursday. And you would have to make a motion to do that because it's not on your regular day.
Does that work for everyone?
Does it
Work.
work for you?
Yeah.
It's a Thursday.
I know.
Okay.
I can cancel my normal Thursday.
I can make it work.
All right, so we need a motion for that?
That one you do because it's not your regular time.
All right. I'll go ahead and make the motion. I make a motion that the next technology committee meeting will be November 21st of 2024 at 6 p.m.
Second.
Good.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion carries. I'm gonna ask one other question though.
Yeah.
I know in the past, 6 o'clock is challenging for some people to make. Do we want to move it to 6:30?
I would be more likely to be here on time if it were at 6:30.
Does Mary, what do you think?
That's fine. 6:30 works for me.
Would we
Terry?
make a motion, if we
Okay
want to
with me.
change our regular time from 6 to 6:30, would that be a motion as well?
Yeah.
Okay. All
But
right,
that means you have to, when you make that motion, you have to make sure and change the time of November 21st.
Yep.
Because you said 6 o'clock.
yep.
Okay.
So when I thought about it, it's like, well, I think we should do that. So I'll make a separate motion. I will make a motion to change the starting time of the technology committee, starting with the November 21st meeting.
Yep.
To 6:30 PM from the current 6 o'clock PM.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Nope,
No, plan
Opposed?
commission. Plan commission is 6:30.
yep.
Oh.
And you always think it's 6:30.
I always think it's 6:30.
So now it is.
Now it is.
So now you're always gonna think it's 6.
Planning commission's always.
All right,
Plan commission's always been 6:30.
yep. So couple of updates for the meeting stuff for you. All right,
Sounds good.
do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
motion carried.
Thank you.
So
Very
Terry, would you please tell Joel, since he's
Yes.
not here, what happened about the meeting?
Okay,
And then send it to Peter also and say they've determined not to have a public meeting.
okay.
Hopefully that works.
All right. Well, we got a little bit of excitement at least.
I'm excited.
It's still light out.
It is.
Yoo-hoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unplug the.
Enjoy that, kids.
Might not be next, might not be for our next meeting.
Especially since it's 2 months and we moved it back to 6:30. It will be dark for that one.
All right.
I don't know what the deal is with that.
You gotta stand on your left.